How's it going, everyone? Sarai the Samurai here with another hardcore Nuzlocke video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a Wonderlocke of Brilliant Diamond. Yeah, I didn't think I'd touch this game so soon, honestly. If you didn't know, I spent the first 7 months of this year playing Brilliant Diamond as a deathless hardcore Nuzlocke. So if you want to see how that went, I definitely recommend watching it. It could definitely use some love. Now, as mentioned before, I am doing a Wonderlocke of Brilliant Diamond. If you don't know what a Wonderlocke is, you essentially trade off your encounter on each route via Wonder Trade. But there is a pretty massive problem with these remakes. Wonder Trading doesn't become available till after you beat Rourke. And for some reason, this game has some weird scaling in terms of allowing traded Pokemon to listen to you. Basically, every 2 badges, the level will increase. So you have to have 2 badges for traded Pokemon to listen to you up to level 30. If not, they stop listening to you, which means for this particular challenge, I will be keeping my starter while trading off all of my route encounters. I decided to keep my starter based on what Zwigu went through in his video. Definitely recommend checking that out if you haven't already. I am also playing with level cap with traded Pokemon, going to the gym leader's strongest Pokemon, at least up until I get 4 badges. So what that means is I cannot get a level 50 Pokemon while I only have 1 badge. And it doesn't really make sense for me to keep Pokemon that are too strong and that I wouldn't be able to use pretty early on. And of course I am playing with dupes and species claws to make sure the challenge has a bit more variety. Now if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom right of the screen. That way you can stay up to date with any other videos being posted or live streams. You heard that right. I now stream on YouTube and I'm currently doing a Genlock. Definitely make sure you subscribe if you want to see how the Genlock goes live. Also, since my channel is still pretty small, I'd like to set a like goal for the video. Let's say 50 likes. This will help the channel's growth by showing the algorithm that you're watching, and it would also help a lot. Without further ado, let's get the challenge started. The game starts up and I bump into my rival, who I name Algorithm. After being attacked by some wild Starly, I choose Chimchar because it's the best option to fight the first 2 gyms. I name it Starter, and after going on a little catching spree, I go battle Rourke. Geodude goes down to 2 power-up punches, as does Onix, and then Cranidos goes down to 1 Mach Punch. Then after getting my first badge, Wonder Trading becomes available. I get some pretty great Pokemon, my personal favorite being Zangoose and Rotom. I catch a few more Pokemon, beat Mars, and Wonder Trade some more before taking on Gardenia. Just to kind of keep you in the loop, this is what I have before going into the gym. I think things are shaping up pretty nicely so far. Anyway, let's go smoke some grass. She leads with Cherubi and I lead with Monferno. I start with a power-up punch and she uses Safeguard. Then 1 Flame Wheel takes Cherubi out, and then 1 Flame Wheel also takes Turtwig out. Next up is Roserade. It uses Stun Spore and paralyzes Monferno. I almost take it out with a Flame Wheel, and then after a Grass Knot, the next Flame Wheel does take it out. I earn my second badge, and now all my Pokemon listen to me up to level 30. Then after taking on Jupiter and not getting stupider, I go on another catching spree, pick up the free Happiny Egg, and then while Wonder Trading, I get some really good Pokemon. Ralts being the biggest get so far, mostly for Maylene. My newly evolved Gardevoir takes Meditite and Machoke out no problem. Lucario comes out next and I switch Gyarados into a Screech. Then after a decent Drain Punch, I use Bulldoze. I then switch Rotom into a Drain Punch, which isn't effective. Then I use Confuse Ray and Lucario breaks through and hits a Screech. Then I switch back into Gyarados to get hit with a Metal Claw. After a Waterfall taking Lucario down to the red, it hits itself in Confusion. After a few Hyper Potions, Gyarados takes Lucario out with Flamethrower. I get my 3rd badge, and take on these Galactic Grunts. I get Fly, and I catch every Pokemon I can before the gym. This batch is definitely one of my favorite batches. I get a Chikorita, a Wooper, and a Chansey. Chikorita is one of my favorite grass types, and will become a main staple of this run. In the wake of that, though, it's time to take on the gym leader. Leading with Rotom, I take out Gyarados with 1 Thunderbolt. Quagsire goes down to Bailey's Magical Leaf, and after a bit of time, Rotom takes Floatzel out with Thunderbolts. Guess Wake got pressured. That's going to be a work in progress. Okay, now it's time to battle Fantina. I take out our Drift Blimp with 1 Thunderbolt from Rotom. Gengar comes out next and I switch Blissey into Confuse Ray. Then after taking a Sludge Bomb, Psychic takes Gengar down to below half and the next one kills. Miss Magius comes out next. Blissey gets hit with another Confuse Ray and breaks through with the Light Screen. I switch into Gyarados next, taking a Dazzling Gleam, and Mismagius uses Phantom Force. After Phantom Force hits, Crunch takes Mismagius down to the red. After a couple of turns of healing, I do manage to take Mismagius out. Then after some more Wonder Trading, I battle Byron. He sends out Bronzor and I send out Macargo. I start with a Stealth Rock and Bronzor uses Trick Room. Then Bronzor uses Confuse Ray and I use Yawn. Then after a Sandstorm, Lava Plume takes Bronzor's health to a sliver. But I get the burn in the process and Bronzor goes down. Steelix comes out next and I switch into Gyarados, avoiding an Earthquake. Then I switch Quagsire safely into a Thunderfang. Quagsire Surf takes Steelix's health down to the red, and Earthquake takes Quagsire's to below half. Then after a few full restores, Steelix goes down to Surf. Bastiodon comes out next. I use Yawn, and it uses Iron Defense. Surf then takes Bastiodon above half, it uses Iron Defense again, and then falls asleep. 2 more Surfs takes Bastiodon out, and I get my 6th badge. I catch 3 more Pokemon and get Charmander, Hoot, and Dratini in the process. And honestly, that's pretty sick. But can this next gym be an easy one? Well, let's see. Gardevoir takes out Snowburn with 1 Psychic, Sneasel comes out next and then I switch into Charizard, taking a Metal Claw. Charizard then takes Sneasel out with a Flamethrower, surprising me that it was faster. Meditite comes out next and I switch into Quagsire, taking a Rock Slide. Meditite then uses Brick Break, taking Quagsire down to 6 HP and I use Yawn. Luckily, the hail stops in time, saving Quagsire, and I switch back into Charizard, taking a Brick Break, and Meditite falls asleep. 1 Air Slash takes Meditite out, and out comes Abomasnow, or as I like to call it, Obama-Snow. 1 Flamethrower takes it out, and I earn my 7th badge. Now it's time for the plot to happen. Saturn and Mars go down pretty easily, and of course Jupiter beats Algorithm. Great. My first Cyrus fight goes pretty smoothly, and I free the legendary trio. Then after beating Mars and Jupiter, I fight Cyrus, which again goes pretty smoothly. I wish there was more to show you, but seriously, this was an easy fight. Then I catch my last batch of Pokemon and trade them off, getting a shiny Quagsire in the process. But since it was a dupe and it didn't have Water Absorb, I sent it back out again. I know that might have been a stupid thing to do, but I don't know. I prefer Water Absorb over Damp, especially this late in the game. But now it's time to fight the final gym leader, Volkner. I did forget to turn my battle animations on, so that kinda sucks. But Raichu goes down to Quagsire after 2 digs, Ambipom comes out next, and I switch into Macargo, taking a Fake Out. Then after taking a double hit, Lava Plume hits big, burning in the process, and then the burn takes Ambipom out. Octillery is next, and then I switch into Quagsire with Water Absorb activating. Then I switch into Pachirisu while Octillery uses Focus Energy. Then Thunderbolt takes Octillery to below yellow, and Octazooka crits, almost taking Pachirisu out. Sheesh. My next Thunderbolt takes Octillery out, and out comes Luxray. I switch Quagsire in, taking a Crunch. Luxray's next Crunch takes Quagsire down to 12 HP, and I get a Toxic off. Then I switch into Nidoking, taking a Crunch, and after a close call with Ice Fang, Nidoking's Earth Power takes Luxray out. I earn my last badge, and now it's time to head to Elite Four. But before I do, here's a quick glimpse of what I'm working with. Both boxes have quite a lot of power in them, and after a bit of deliberation, I decided to run through this Elite Four team with Charizard, Gardevoir, Rotom, Glaceon, Bronzong, and Meganium. Bronzong being the only Pokemon I used in my team during my Deathless Nuzlocke run. It's Elite Four time, and first up is Aaron. He leads with Dustox, and I lead with Charizard. 1 Flamethrower takes Dustox out, and out comes Heracross, which this next part caught me off guard. Heracross ends up being faster and hits a huge Rock Slide. Charizard lives on a pinch, and Flamethrower takes it out. Flamethrower also takes out Beautifly and Vespiquen, and then Drapion comes out. I don't have necessarily the best team to handle it, so I send out Glaceon, tanking a Night Slash. Then after a crit Cross Poison, Ice Beam takes Drapion down to the red. After 2 full restores, Drapion's back down to the red, and then I decide to take a pretty big risk. Night Slash takes Glaceon down to 5 HP, and Ice Beam takes it out. Aaron goes down, and up next is Bertha. She leads with Quagsire, and I lead with Bronzong. Bronzong tanks a Surf, and I use Stealth Rocks. Then I switch into Meganium, also tanking a Surf. Mega Drain takes Quagsire out, and Wishcash is up next. Thanks to the Rindo Berry, Giga Drain doesn't kill, and Meganium takes a Bulldoze. Bertha then uses the Full Restore, with Giga Drain taking it out. Giga Drain also takes out Sudowoodo and Golem, and then out comes Bertha's last Pokemon, Hippowdon. Giga Drain takes Hippowdon down to the red, and Ice Fang takes Meganium down to below half. Then after a full restore, Giga Drain hits hard again, and with the next one taking it out. Bertha's down, and up next is Flint. I go with a pretty risky strategy leading with Bronzong, but I need to deal with Infernape's Focus Sash. Rapidash luckily starts with a Hypnosis, activating my Berry, and I set up Stealth Rocks. Then after a Flame Charge, Psychic does some pretty decent damage. Rapidash hits me with Hypnosis next, and then I switch into Charizard taking a Flame Charge. Then Rapidash misses a Hypnosis and my counter fails. Next turn, Hypnosis hits, and then after 2 turns, Charizard wakes up and takes Rapidash out with a counter. Steelix comes out next and goes down to Flamethrower. Lopunny is next, and I switch into Rotom, and Lopunny crashes after High Jump Kick doesn't affect. Thunderbolt then takes Lopunny out, and out comes Drifblim, which Thunderbolt takes out as well. Infernape comes out next. Fire Punch gets a good hit, and I use Confuse Ray. Next turn, Fire Punch hits Rotom down to 7 HP, and Shadow Ball takes Infernape down to below half. I switch Charizard into a Fire Punch, and then switch Glaceon into a Thunder Punch. Then I use Baby Doll Eyes, and Close Combat hits hard, but Glaceon lives. I switch Gardevoir into a Mach Punch, and then after taking a Fire Punch, Psychic finishes it off. That ended up being pretty easy, especially since I consider Flint to be the second hardest member of the Elite Four. Well, behind Cynthia. Lucian, on the other hand, is the most annoying. He leads with Mr. Mime, and I lead with Rotom. Shadow Ball takes Mime to below half, and Psychic hits Rotom above half. My next Shadow Ball takes Mime out, and out comes Alakazam. I switch Rotom out for Bronzong, and Alakazam uses Future Sight. Then it uses Nasty Plot, and I use Flash Cannon, not doing that much damage. Alakazam's Shockwave hits pretty hard, and I use Flash Cannon again, taking it to below half. Future Sight hits at the end of turn, taking Bronzong down to red. I then switch into Meganium, taking a Shockwave. Alakazam Future Sights again, and goes down to Giga Drain. Meditite comes out next, and I switch into Glaceon. Lucian switches in Girafarig? Okay. I predict a Psychic, so I use Mirror Coat, but Girafarig uses Trick Room, and then Future Sight hits Glaceon hard. I switch back into Meganium, and this is where things get tedious. Girafarig has Sap Sipper, so my moves don't affect it at all. So essentially, after stalling out Girafarig Psychics, Rotom is able to take it out with Thunderbolt. Meditite comes out next, and one Shadow Ball takes it to the Shadow Realm. Lucian's Bronzong comes out next, and a crit Shadow Ball takes it out. Lucian's down, and now it's time for Cynthia. This is probably going to be the most different Cynthia fight you've ever witnessed. She leads with Spiritomb, and I lead with Meganium. Now, I forget about Pressure's ability going into this battle, so after attracting and setting up Double Team, I lose all of my Giga Drain's PP. After that, I kinda just decided to meme this thing. Using up all my moves, I take Spiritomb out with Struggle. Roserade comes out next, and it misses a Sludge Bomb. Struggle doesn't hit Roserade hard, but takes Meganium down to 1 HP. But thanks to Poison Point, it goes down due to poison. I send Charizard out next, and Sludge Bomb hits hard, but Flamethrower manages to take it out. Gastrodon's out next, and I instantly regret messing around with Meganium. I decide to sacrifice Charizard using a Smokescreen before Scald takes it out. I send Glaceon out next, and Freeze Dry takes Gastrodon down. Lucario is out next, and I send Rotom out into an Aura Sphere. Lucario then sets up Nasty Plot, and I use Double Team. It uses Nasty Plot again, and then I use Double Team again. And I just let this thing set up Nasty Plot twice. Frick. Dragon Pulse takes Rotom down, and I send Bronzong out, which Aura Sphere takes out in 1 hit. And Glaceon falls in 1 hit too. Well, I'm screwed. I send Gardevoir out, and luckily, I somehow avoid a Flash Cannon, and Psychic hits hard. Then it misses another Flash Cannon, and Psychic takes Lucario out. Holy crap, that was really lucky. Milotic then comes out, and I decide to play it safe. I Calm Mind, and Milotic uses Mirror Coat. So, that was a good play. I use Calm Mind again, and Milotic misses Scald. I use Calm Mind for a 3rd time, and Milotic's Scald hits, doing very little damage. I Calm Mind one more time and get hit by Scald. Then I Dazzling Gleam, Milotic lives, and I take another Scald. After a full restore, Dazzling Gleam takes Milotic down to below half, and then the next one takes it out. Out comes Garchomp, and I am ready for this Gardevoir clutch. My luck has been on a whole other level. Garchomp uses Poison Jab. It connects, and Gardevoir goes down. That was a tough loss, but the fact I took out all of Cynthia's Pokemon, only leaving Garchomp, led for a really fun moment, honestly. Now, normally I would try this run again, but if I'm being honest, I don't think I have the patience. After 7 months of playing this game previously, I think my experience is kind of jaded. But who knows? I might actually go back to this sometime in the future. I definitely wanted to give a Wonderlocke a try before Scarlet and Violet comes out next month. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. What did you guys think? Did you like the video? Did you enjoy it? Do you want to see me attempt this sometime in the future again? Let me know in the comments down below, and also don't forget to subscribe. As I said earlier on in the video, I am now streaming on YouTube, so this is where all my live streams and videos are going to be uploaded. So definitely make sure you subscribe. And on that note, I will catch you guys later. Peace.